Well, I'm not going to say lucky, but we watch a lot of news and pay attention to like what's going on around us. So we were not ready for it. Nobody was ready for it, but we had 2 to 3 meetings as owners before the shelter in place went in effect to create a plan. And also, which is just kind of a lucky thing, is that we've been working on our takeout and online ordering capabilities for about 6 to 8 months before this ever happened, just as a way to increase our revenue. So that really positioned us to be in a pretty good place to weather this storm. Those are kind of the good things. I mean, the bad things is we had to lay off about half of our staff. Most of our front of the house staff, we had to lay off because we have no guests inside. But we are doing strictly curbside, strictly online ordering. We're not touching any credit cards. We're not taking any credit cards over the phone. It's all kind of touchless and contactless, which is a really weird thing because that's not why we get in the restaurant business. But we feel really lucky that things are going pretty well considering the situation. There's a lot of restaurants that aren't going to reopen after this. I have friends, restaurants that are not going to be able to reopen, and restaurants that I know in the area that are done. A lot of my friends own and work in restaurants, and it's just really, really hard to see people that I consider family. We're kind of a big family of misfits in the restaurant industry, to see them not reopen. Our sales are down 30%-ish, which is a lot. You know, we're paying rent. We have financial obligations to pay for things that we can't use right now. We're going to have to navigate that moving forward. But we've also been looking for ways to cut costs, and we scaled back our menu a little bit. We didn't roll out a lot of the seasonal items and things that we're known for. Some of the stuff we couldn't source, and some of it's just too expensive to bring in without guaranteed sales. And like I said, we had to cut quite a bit of labor, and we've cut hours, which saves some money. But yeah, it is a tough thing to navigate. And there's so much uncertainty, is that we're kind of, you know, aiming at a moving target all the time, trying to figure out what's going to be best this week and what's going to happen in 2 weeks. We had quite a bit of money in savings. We've been working really, really hard to save money and create a strong financial situation for our business. So we will be fine. We're still planning to open the place in Palo Alto. We're slowly working on plans for that. So we will hopefully have a takeout shop in Palo Alto. So we're okay. So far, it hasn't, because we have been working on the architectural plans for a remodel. We're a couple weeks behind on the plans. The issue is going to be that the city and the health department aren't open to process plans right now, our permits right now. I get a lot of phone calls like, hey, we want to support you, but we're not comfortable eating out. And that's like a totally valid point right now. People are not always comfortable eating out or having even minimal contact with restaurants. So every restaurant's different, but there are things that you can do, like buying gift cards, which is kind of like a micro loan. I'm going to have to provide a service for that at some point, but right now you're going to give me money to keep going. And that's huge. Some restaurants have GoFundMe's. We don't have one, but maybe you could look at your local business, or, you know, if you know that your local business is struggling, you know, there's ones that people are starting for their favorite restaurants or retail shops to do that. And I'd say if you're comfortable going out, the best thing to do is go get takeout. We want to work. You know, most of us in the restaurant business aren't really looking for handout as much as being able to work safely. You know, I fully support the shelter in place. Our state and local government is doing a really, really wonderful job, but we just need to just keep trying to support the things that we value. We've learned a lot of things, including one that's kind of not necessarily restaurant related, but kind of a little touchy feely on our part, is just that, like, reevaluating what means things to us and what we value. When you get everything shut down, you kind of think about what you can survive without. I'm realizing how much small businesses, even though I have a small business, but thinking about how many other small businesses and other parts of the economy and things that I value that I don't want to go away. Business wise, we are going to have to reevaluate the way that we serve food and the way that we allow customers in the restaurant. We're really passionate about the communal seating and the counter service that you saw when you guys were in there. But moving forward, we're probably going to have to reevaluate that. We're assuming that less people are going to be allowed in restaurants, and people are going to have to sit farther apart. And that is not something that we plan for or have our restaurant set up for. So we're going to have to navigate that for us. And I think as we like to expand the company and grow moving forward, I think there's going to be a lot more risk and uncertainty in opening sit-down restaurants or restaurants that have large dining areas, because we've seen this. And until we know 100% that this isn't going to happen again, or there's not going to be consecutive shelters in place or limits on dining room square footage, it's too big of a risk to open restaurants like that. Just want to tell everybody that we're all in this together, which I know is cliche, but we really have a really wonderful community here in the Bay Area, and I want to thank everybody for all of their support of our restaurant and all the other restaurants and small businesses, and just everybody take care of each other.